Good morning, everyone. My name is Yolandi and I'm the Legislation Manager at Sage HR Payroll. The purpose of this video is to briefly explain the legislation changes in terms of retirement reforms which will affect you and should be implemented from the 1st of March 2016. Now, National Treasury basically wants to standardize all retirement funds. Now, the payout should eventually work exactly the same. Currently, if you have a pension fund, 1/3 of the payout is taken as or can be taken as a lump sum payment, and 2/3 are paid out as an annuity. Whereas if you have a provident fund, the full amount can be taken as a lump sum. Now, to standardize that, they want everything to work exactly the same. So from the 1st of March 2016, if you have a pension fund or you have a provident fund on a retirement, 1/3 will be taken or can be taken as a lump sum, and 2/3 will be taken as an annuity. There are a few exemptions, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on, and please keep in mind that this is only applicable to contributions as from the 1st of March 2016. So the contributions that you made before March 2016 will stay unaffected. So how will this affect our payrolls on a monthly basis? Currently, if the employer contributes towards your pension fund or your provident fund, then there's no fringe benefit. So it is a tax-free contribution. Whereas with a retirement annuity currently, there is a taxable fringe benefit if the employer makes contributions on behalf of the employee. Now, from March 2016, there will always be a fringe benefit once the employer contributes to any one of these funds: pension, provident, or a retirement annuity. Now, a fringe benefit then means the taxable remuneration of the employee will increase. However, at the same time, there will also be a deduction for the employee contribution as well as the fringe benefit value. If I can just give you an example, if you have a pension fund, for example, and the employer pays 500 Rand and the employee pays 500. Now, immediately, because the employer pays a portion, 500 Rand will be your fringe benefit, increasing your taxable remuneration, but your tax deductible deduction will be 1,000 Rand, which will be the fringe benefit and the employee contribution. So basically, we should be better off, or most of us will be better off with these changes. The deduction, however, will be limited to 27.5% of remuneration or 350,000 per annum, whichever is the lesser. Now, this limit is a combined limit, which means you will have fringe benefits and deductions for all three retirement funds. However, the combined deduction should not exceed 27.5% of your remuneration or 350,000 per annum on the payroll. Now, to get back to the fringe benefit amount, I mentioned now that there will be a fringe benefit if the employer contributes towards one of these funds on behalf of the employee. Now, the fringe benefit calculation will depend on the type of fund that the employee is contributing to. For example, if it is a defined contribution fund, now we call it a DC fund. A defined contribution fund is basically where whatever you contribute is the benefit that you will eventually get out of the fund. So if the company contributes towards a defined contribution fund, then the fringe benefit value will be exactly equal to the employer contribution. So if the employer contributes 500 Rand, the fringe benefit will be 500 Rand. If the employer contributes on behalf of the employee towards a defined benefit fund, now a defined benefit fund is a fund of which the contributions don't necessarily match the benefit that the employee will eventually get. And therefore, Treasury has prescribed a formula that should be used to calculate the fringe benefit value. In this formula, the retirement funding income of the employee should be taken into account, as well as the category factor that the fund should prescribe. Now, with this formula, it is quite clear that from an employer's point of view, the employer should have this information from the fund. So you should obtain from the fund the category factor and make sure that what type of fund the employer is actually contributing to, whether it's a defined contribution fund or defined benefit fund. You might also have a hybrid fund. Now, a hybrid fund is a fund which basically contains a little bit of defined contribution components and a little bit of defined benefit components. But the fringe benefit value would also be calculated with a formula. Again, make sure you obtain this information from the fund, otherwise your payroll system will not be able to calculate these fringe benefit values correctly. Be sure to keep an eye on our news flashes as well as our website to see all the different options which are available to you to assist you in implementing these new legislation changes. Be assured, our systems will be ready and will support you all the way.